So today is my Sephora VIB Sale haul and review. I have held off on filming this because I wanted to have some opinions on these products before I just showed up what I got with absolutely no context for is it awesome, should you even think about buying it, etc. First impressions are fun, but ultimately that's not what sways me to decide, yes, this is a product that I want to try personally. So without further ado, let's dive into the pile on this table because when you lay it all out in front of you, it's a little bit more than I realized it was going to be. So yeah, let's get started. The only skincare item I ended up picking up from the sale was actually a honey potion from Pharmacy. This is an antioxidant skin mask. It is a renewing antioxidant hydration mask with echinacea, green envy, honey. And if you're not familiar with what echinacea is, it's actually like the pink coneflowers, if you've ever seen these in a garden. So they're pulling extracts from that have huge antioxidant properties. Well, first of all, can we just appreciate how cute this packaging is? When you get it, it actually pops out. And then the inside has got this cute little honeycomb pattern on the outside. It opens up like so. And then inside is actually a lot more information about the Pharmacy group and about the product itself, meet the farmers, the science behind it, etc. Box aside, which, while adorable, I will be probably throwing away after this video, is the packaging itself is adorable. It's in a glass jar. It's kind of in a honeycomb shape, which I think is adorable. It's got this kind of faux wood lid on the top, and then it actually comes with a spatula that sticks right to the top because this is actually magnetic, which is very cool. The product itself is really interesting to me. So it has a definite honey floral scent to it. So you definitely get that honey echinacea flower scent from it. It's very thick, so as you can see, nothing comes out. So the spatula, I think, is absolutely necessary to help scrape out. It is a warming massage mask which nourishes and revitalizes the skin for a glowing, smooth complexion. An intensely moisturizing combination of honey, a natural humectant used since ancient times, propolis, a healing antiseptic found in beehives, and amino acid rich royal jelly, a unique patented protected variant of Echinacea purpurea, I believe that's purpurea, contains the highest known concentration of phytochemical cichoric acid, a natural antioxidant which benefits the hydration and purifying benefits of honey. So that's all great, right? So interesting stuff in here. Here's what I think it does for my skin, and here's why I went from trying a little sample size to buying the full sizes jar at the sale. The acid compound in here, I'm not gonna try and say it again, is gonna give you almost like a chemical exfoliant feel. So it is going to help deal with any dead skin cells. It's gonna help with skin cell renewal. Your skin is gonna feel softer and more supple after using it because it has helped to remove any dead layers of skin on your face. The honey is going to hydrate, but not in a greasy way, in a very naturally plumping way. And I think that the combination of those two really leaves my skin feeling healthy and renewed in a way that I haven't come across in any other face mask that I've tried. I really think this is a unique face mask on the market. For me, the $56 plus 20% off was totally worth it. I'm really grateful to have this in my collection. I will probably use this once a week as part of my masking routine. I think it is a really unique masking product that delivers some really impressive results. So I think I've rambled on enough about that. I'm kind of scared by the meter. I think I've been talking about this for 15 minutes. Clearly I'm passionate. Time to move on. Okay, so one of my favorite things to pick up during the sale is actually foundation. I like to try higher end foundation that I just can't bring myself to pick up when it's not 20% off. So I actually have picked up 3 foundations and I have some definite opinions, so I want to share those with you now. The first one I got is actually the Hourglass Illusion Hyaluronic Skin Tint. I blame Jamie Page for this. She, I think, went to an Hourglass event. They put this on her skin. She freaked out. She has very dry skin. She loved how this looked. I had to try it. It is $56. It comes in a squeezy pump, which I know a lot of people feel like for high-end foundations, it has to come in a fancy bottle. I really like squeeze tubes. I think it helps you get every last inch of foundation out. They're super handy for travel, so I have no issue with this being in a squeezy tube. So I got the shade Vanilla, and this is an interesting formula. It is a whipped formula. On their website, they say it's medium to full coverage. I call BS on that. This to me is a medium coverage foundation at best. I don't necessarily think it builds a ton. In fact, I often have to spot conceal afterwards. I would say this is kind of a light medium to medium foundation, and that's about as far as I've been able to get it to go. I think it melts into the skin easily. It gives a very natural glow to the skin, but I wouldn't consider it necessarily a glowy foundation. I think it just really comes off like a natural satin, just your skin looks really healthy kind of feel. I really wish I didn't love this as much as I do. It lasts all day on me. I have normal, I guess I should have started with that. I have normal skin that tends to go a little dry in the winter and can get a little oily in my T-zone in the summer. So for me right now, dealing with winter skin, this is just perfect. It sets down. You almost don't even have to use a powder if you don't want to. But at the same time, it's not drying at all. The hyaluronic acid is clearly doing its job. I think, you know, it's funny. I don't often find a foundation that I go, this would work for all skin types. But I think this might work for all skin types. If you have super oily skin, maybe not. I think if your skin is super dry, you would love this. If it's normal, you would love this. If you're super oily, I still think you would like it, but you might want to set it with a little bit of powder. But once again, it just sets down on its own, which is not something I find very often from hydrating foundations. So I like this. I really like this. And I'm sorry I like this because it's so bloody expensive, and I feel like it's hard, it makes my heart hurt to love a foundation that costs this much as I do. So that's all I'm going to say about this. All right, so the next foundation I picked up is from Laura Mercier, and it's a foundation I've heard zero people talk about, but I was looking at foundations on Sephora that I hadn't really heard much about that seemed interesting to me, and this one caught my eye. This is the Laura Mercier Silk Cream Moisturizing Photo Edition Foundation. They also do a Silk Cream Oil-Free Photo Foundation for people, I'm guessing, with more oily skin.
Captain Obvious, thank you.
I wanted to read to you what caught my eye. So it is a hydrating 12-hour wear foundation that remains comfortable on the skin. It lasts up to 12 hours with Laura Mercier's fullest coverage foundation. The high pigment formula blends seamlessly, hiding even hard to cover imperfections. Its naturally luminous, radiant finish is ideal for selfies.
Awesome.
Photos, videos, special events, and everyday wear. Color true pigments virtually disappear on the skin for smooth, even application and blending. So this fascinated me for two reasons. One, it said that it was a full coverage foundation, and then number two, that it provided a moisturizing and luminous finish. I've tried a ton of full coverage foundations, and if it says full coverage, I can almost 9 out of 10 tell you I'm not going to enjoy it. They tend to look cakey on me. They tend to settle into every fine line that I have. They tend to break down in weird ways, but I would like a full coverage foundation for events and for photos, and even just for days where my skin isn't looking so hot. So I wanted to pick this up. Like the Hourglass one, it comes in a squeezy tube. I got the lightest shade. This is Rose Ivory. First of all, I'm kind of bummed because I don't think this is my best color match. I think it's a little dark for me, at least where I am right now. Perhaps in the summertime when I'm a smidge more tan, it will work. But for right now, it's just a little smidge dark for me. I do need to put in a few whitening pigment drops into here in order to make it a good color match for me. It might work better for me in the summertime. The undertone is nice, but the color itself is just a little too deep on me. That being said, I think this delivers a high medium coverage. I don't necessarily think this is a full coverage foundation, but I definitely think this is one of the fuller coverage foundations that I've had. And all the things that it says about it being moisturizing and luminizing and looking like second skin, it really does. It's not cakey at all. It melts into the skin. It's so easy to apply. I think the finish is beautiful. It really does last all day on me. I didn't get oily with it, neither did it cling with any dry patches. I did set it with a light dusting of setting powder, but I really like this. I think this is going to be my go-to fuller coverage foundation. I really enjoy this. I really wish she made a few more shades. I don't think 13 shades is enough. She needs to go lighter and deeper on the spectrum, but this is one that no one talks about that I think is worth taking a look at next time you're at the store. Okay, the third and final foundation I picked up is one that I actually can't give you a ton of information on yet because I have been testing the first two quite a bit and I just haven't made it to this third one, and I don't think that foundation reviews are something that can be rushed. So if you're interested in feedback on this at some point, I would be happy to give this to you. But the last one I got was actually from a new brand to Sephora. I believe it's a Canadian brand. It's called Stellar. And this is their Limitless foundation. It comes in 21 shades. I got the shade SO2, so I actually didn't buy the lightest shade, and that is because they had SO1 was fair with yellow undertones, and this was fair with pink undertones. This I think is actually more neutral than pink. That's just my opinion. I really like the packaging on this. So it's got this really nice matte black cap, that velvet touch cap that's really pretty. And the bottle itself is actually acrylic, which is really nice. I think it feels really nice in the hand, but I kind of like the fact that it's not glass. It makes it a little bit more lightweight. I think the shade match is gonna be pretty good for me just based on swatching it on my hand. It is a lighter weight foundation and doesn't really have a scent. This one was interesting to me because it's a highly pigmented medium coverage foundation that provides buildable full coverage where needed. It says incredibly lightweight. It provides natural looking all day wear and a radiant finish. So it's blendable, oil-free, sits like second skin, concealing discoloration and hyperpigmentation for a professional retouched look. So I like everything about that description. I'm very hopeful that this is a foundation that is going to be a good one, a good match for me. The other face product that I got was actually a cushion concealer from Laneige. This is a Korean beauty brand that's been picked up by Sephora. This is their cushion concealer in number 11 Rose Porcelain. It only comes in 4 shades, so that is the downside of Korean beauty. It is formulated and shade matched for Koreans, so they don't have the depth of range that you would expect from an American or even a Canadian brand. European brand even. They're very narrowly focused. So that is the one downside. This is a cushion concealer. The only other product I've come across that's kind of like this, well, two. One is the Maybelline Age Rewind concealer that's very popular here on YouTube. And then the other one that's super similar to this was actually put up by Julep, who did a cushion concealer very similar to this earlier this year. So it has a click pen on the other. It's a metal packaging. It's very pretty. And then when you pop off the top, it is a cushion concealer. This is their lightest shade, the number 11. It has SPF 30 in it. One of the things that I like about this is it really does a great job at covering up under eye circles. It's hydrating underneath your eyes without being creasy, and then it almost sets itself without being drying. So this is a really cool concept, and I think it's a really, really great concealer. This is a winner for me. A face powder that I picked up was from Laura Mercier. So there's 2 Laura Mercier face products. I did want to try these 2 together, so that was part of the reason. This is their Candle Glow Sheer Perfecting Powder, but I wanted to grab this powder because it reminded me a lot, I mean a lot, of the ambient lighting powders from Hourglass. So this has a similar feel. It has that really, really smooth, not powdery, just like velvety, soft feeling to give you a really ethereal glow to your skin that has absolutely no glitter. It's not meant as a highlighter, but it's just meant to give your whole face a diffused, lit from within glow. I love that. I love when a powder can set my makeup but still keep the glow to my skin that I really am going for. This is a little bit more affordable than the Hourglass powders. Those I believe are $46. This is $38, so you're gonna save $8 for what it's worth. Not the cheapest powder of life, but I really have enjoyed this. So I got the lightest shade 1. They have 6 colors in total from light to deep. And what I like about this is I think this is most comparable to Dim Light from Hourglass. I have Dim Light in this little Hourglass palette that a lot of people have, but I find that Dim Light sometimes adds a little too much color to my fair skin. But I think that Dim Light is only going to work for a small subset of people, whereas this, because it goes from light to deep, I think this is going to give you that dim light effect from the Hourglass powders, but in a shade that is going to better maybe match your skin tone. So thoroughly enjoying this, highly recommend it, almost dropped it, small panic. So I picked up one highlighter, and this is what I've actually been staring at in the store on and off for probably a year and a half now. And this is the Cover FX, the Perfect Light Highlighting Powder, and this is in the shade Moonlight. This is the perfect highlighter for people who aren't into that super metallic, like strip on the cheek, who want something that looks very natural, very maybe work appropriate. The finish on this is very skin toned. It's not going to be like that Bablam highlighter, but it is going to give you a totally ethereal, lit from within glow to your skin. There's not a hint of glitter in this. I think if you struggle with highlighters that are also emphasizing texture, this is one that is going to look beautiful on your skin. I'm really glad that I have this in my collection. I think this is going to be one of my go-to travel highlighters for work. Just really pretty. The last face product that I picked up is actually one of these Ciate London Glow 2 Illuminating Blushes. The packaging is every bit as adorable as everyone says it is. The inside product is small, so this is not, when you think about products in terms of price per gram, this one is not going to be affordable. But I really thought that the plummy undertone of this blush was just so cool. It is definitely glowy. It is for those of you who love a glowy blush. I just think it makes your skin really healthy and really flushed looking. I like a glowy blush. I don't always reach for a glowy blush, but this is the kind of formula I like when I do. No glitter in it, just really healthy, pretty flush to the skin. And I like this color. It's kind of this plummy pink color that I think is pretty unique. All right, let's move on to a couple of eye products. I picked up single shadow and then also a couple of palettes. So my super bougie, ridiculous purchase was actually from Christian Dior. It is one of their Dior Show Fusion Mono shades. This is Meteorite. I swatched all these in store. I didn't think most of the colors were anything to write home about, but Meteor is gorgeous. I have heard Alana Davis talk about this color and use it in many tutorials, and I get why she loves this so much. So it's super luxe, like the luxiest of the luxiest. It's very heavy glass bottle. It's got this beautiful Christian Dior sort of embossed into the top, this silver trim around the cap. There is a completely unnecessary sponge tip applicator. I can't see myself ever using this, but it's super fancy. The shade itself is a coppery gold, but it definitely has a bounce to it, a little bit of a creamy feel to it. It feels very satiny to the touch. And this is just one of those shades that has a decent amount of glitter to it. Shimmer may be the better word, but to me this is like adult glitter. I don't know how else to describe it. This is a beautiful shade to either wear on its own over the lid, and then how Alana used it and how I have really enjoyed using it is I'll do my eye makeup and then I'll tap some of this in the center of my lid with my finger, and it just makes my eyes look brighter and more awake and a little dewy without being wet. Right? So this goes on and then it sets on and doesn't budge. I've had no problem with glitter fallout. It locks down. It's gorgeous. I really, really like it. So would I recommend buying it when it wasn't on sale? No. Do I think it's a fun splurgy item that if you can find it on sale you would absolutely enjoy? Yes. Huda Beauty went and released these, and these I think are $27. This is the Smoky Obsessions one. She released 3 others, a colorful one, a more brightly orange colored one, and then a mauve colored one. The smoky one, on the other hand, kind of called to me because it's also a neutral palette. So I think one of the things that when brands do smoky palettes, they feel like all the shades have to be smoky. And what I've found when I want to do a smoky eye, I need to build up color gradually. I need to have that smoke on my eye blend out through some browns, through some mattes, so that it doesn't look like I just have 2 giant punched black eyes. I really need to kind of fade that out through some warmer shades in order to make that smoky eye look wearable. That's just how I prefer to build and wear a smoky eye, and this palette is going to do that for me. It has great matte shades, so you're getting 1, 2, 3, 4 matte shades. So you're getting matte shades that are going to build you up the spectrum from this light shade here to more of a mid-tone brown to a deeper brown to a black. So you can do a all matte smoky look very, very easily, and it, like I said, it's going to build through the gradients. Then you're getting 3, I would say, more neutral shimmer shades, which would allow you to do more of an everyday smoky eye. Or you could very easily do just an everyday look with them, to be honest. If you use just the 2 or lighter shades and one of these on your lids, you have a very natural everyday look. You also have this really cool silver shimmer, which I love a good silver on my lid, but you've got a gold, you've got sort of a rose gold pink, and then you've also got a more taupey metallic shade. The metallics in here just can't be beat. They can't be beat. I know people complained about the size of these, and then she did I think it was Instagram stories where she actually held up the pan in here to the pan size in her full size like Hooded Dusk Beauty Desert Dusk palette. They're the same size. I really applaud her for launching an affordable palette less than $30 that is this high quality, packs this much punch, and then is so super travel friendly. Am I gonna run out and buy more of these? Probably not, only because I don't think I am really clamoring for the other colors that they put out, but I really am enjoying this one. The other palette I picked up was from ColourPop, and I ended up getting the Semi-Precious palette. The pans in this are a lot bigger than the normal palettes that they put out. I think the cost per gram is the same for each of these, you just have fewer shades in here. This is a pretty cool palette. I liked the color selection in here. I thought it was pretty cool. I thought it would be a great palette to pair with some of the matte palettes in my collection. There's also some shades that will look really pretty applied on their own and then just buffed up through the crease. I'm gonna insert some swatches here so you can see. So you've got this first shade, which is a really pretty rose gold, applies beautifully with a brush or with your finger, and then next to it is a lilac-y silver shade that I just think is gorgeous. I think this is a really unique shade to my collection. The third shade over is the one that I have the hardest time with. It's not bad, but I think this is one where you absolutely do need to use your finger. It is shimmery, but it's not necessarily as metallic as some of the other shades. Next over is this coppery orange shade that is in a lot of palettes, but it's just a really good staple eyeshadow. Moving on to the bottom row, you've got a shade that's maybe a little more satin than metallic, but it's this really pretty reddish plum color that I think is gonna make green and blue eyes totally pop. Then to the right of it is kind of what I would consider to be an antique gold. It has a lot of silver in it, but it definitely has gold as well. It's kind of that dirty gold color. One over from there is the brighter sort of pinkish red metallic that I think is gorgeous. This is that really metallic foiled looking pink. I know a lot of people think that $26 for a ColourPop palette is entirely too much. You are definitely getting what you're paying for though. The pan size is a lot bigger. It will take you a long time to go through, but bear that in mind. If you have a large eyeshadow collection, pan size doesn't necessarily mean as much to you because you're not using up your shadows. I've heard a lot of people say, I'd rather just have smaller pans so that the overall cost is more affordable for me. So it's very much up to you, but I don't think you're going to be disappointed with the quality of this palette if it's one you pick up. Final products I picked up were actually all lip products, and there were 2 lip kits, holiday gift kind of sets that I wanted to talk about that I think are definitely giftable items that you may want to pick up for the beauty lovers in your life. The first is actually from Huda Beauty. It's hilarious. It's giant lips in a tin. I think this tin is hilarious. I will probably keep this separately just because it makes me smile. Inside this tin, you are actually getting 3 products. You are getting 2 smaller sizes of her lip products. This is her liquid lipstick and her lip strobe topper, and you're also getting a full-size pencil. So this kit retails for $25. The lip pencil is $19, and then full-size versions of these products are $20 each, so you're definitely getting a good value here. The liquid lipstick you're getting is actually in the shade Muse. I have tried this formula before and I really enjoy it. It is a thinner formula that feels a little bit almost oily. Like it has a really slip sort of oil feel to it. Goes on the lips beautifully and dries down in about 30 seconds. I really like this formula. I don't think it settles into lip lines. I think it doesn't dry out my lips a ton. The lip pencil is also in Muse. It is a great, very velvety pencil. You can fill your lips in with this and it looks gorgeous. You could wear this on its own, but I also think it is a really pretty, like I said, dusty purpley mauve color that isn't in a lot of lip pencil formulas. And then the lip strobe you get is actually in Angelic, which is this really pretty lavender pinkish shifting gold. This is not a color I would probably wear all over my lips. I would wear it as a topper, kind of like I am today, in the center of my lips. It's super metallic, a lot of pigmentation to it. I enjoy this kit. I think it is super cute. For 25 bucks, I think this is just a really fun holiday gift. So the last item I picked up is actually from Bite Beauty. This is their Champagne Discovery Kit. It retails for $35. It's actually a $65 value because you're getting 3 full-size products in here, which is absolutely incredible. So you're getting a full-sized lip pencil, which is in the shade 36, which is a beautiful neutral mid-toned nude shade. This is gonna go with a lot of different lipsticks. The formula on these is super creamy. There's a really fascinating video, if I can find it, I'll link it down below, where Bite talked about the process they went to talk with some vintage pencil makers around just the technique for building a high quality wooden pencil. The next product you get that I had never tried before was actually a Bite multi-stick. This is in a really traditional Bite packaging, but it has a really satisfying magnetic closure to it, so that's fun. But when you roll it up, it's kind of like a chubby stick. The point of this is you can either use this on your lips, you can pick some up on your finger and dot it on your cheeks and blend it out as a cream blush, or you can put it on your eyes and have like an all matte cream eyeshadow. This is in the shade Cashew, which I think is a really pretty mid-toned neutral that has slight pinky undertones, really flattering on my skin. I love this color. Having played around with this for a while, I like it as a lipstick. It's a beautiful sort of satin finish, leaning a little matte but not drying at all. I can use it on my cheeks. It blends out fine. My biggest issue is I'm not a huge cream blush fan. So I have used this a couple of times on my cheeks. I have no complaints. It lasts all day. It blended out really well. I just, once again, I'm not the biggest cream blush user. I struggled a little bit with this on my eyes. I found that it didn't completely set down. So some of that emolliency that I think makes it work well on your lips and on your cheeks didn't apply or didn't work quite as well on my eyes. I did end up with some creasing by about the 5-hour mark when I used this on its own on my eyes. So I don't think this has quite the setting power or staying power of some of my other cream eyeshadow sticks that I love. So 2 out of 3 isn't bad, I guess is how I'm looking at this. And even if I only use this as a lipstick, go forward, I still feel like the value is totally there and I really will enjoy it. The last product you get is actually one of their cream lip glosses in Champagne Pearl. This is a beautiful rose gold. It is hella metallic and it looks beautiful over the top of the multi-stick. I use this very much like I did the Huda one today, where I'll put the multi-stick on first and then tap this in the center of my lip. How do I explain how I hate sticky glosses but I still like this one? The biggest difference for me is this is not a gloss that I will put all over my lips. I don't think that the color is something that would necessarily be super flattering all over my lips. For me, when I just tap a little bit of this product and kind of blend it out with my finger on my lips to kind of give my lips a more full appearance, that stickiness isn't as apparent. It's not as thick. It's spread out a little bit, and therefore I don't notice it the same way I would if I was using a sticky gloss all over my lips to make my whole lips look juicy, right? Hopefully that makes sense. I feel like I really butchered the hell out of explaining this one. All that to say, I think that this little wish kit here is an incredible value. I mean, to get 3 full-size products, it's a win-win. Picked up one other Bite product. This was a total impulse buy because it was on sale, and I'm a little concerned that they're discontinuing this formula. So this is the Bite Beauty High Pigment Lip Pencil. These are almost like a cream lipstick, but they're in a pencil form. So they look like this. They have the color here at the bottom. I picked up the shade Amarone, and it is a beautiful sort of cranberry shade, which I thought would be gorgeous for the holidays and for winter time. This pencil is definitely super creamy. It has a bit of a shine finish to it. I like these formulas. I have a couple of these already, so I think they were marked off like 20-25% in the store, and then I was able to use the discount on top of it. They had the entire line marked down though, which makes me think that this may be a product that Bite is discontinuing. I'm not sure, but I am thrilled to have this as part of my collection, and I definitely will get a lot of use out of it this winter time. The last 2 products I picked up were actually from Marc Jacobs. I will admit I like a lot of the Marc Jacobs products, but what I did end up picking up from him was another lip gloss. This is in the shade Enamored. It's more of a cool toned nude, which I thought was really cool. This is my favorite lip gloss formula, by the way, which is a reason that I have a tendency to pick a new one up during every sale that comes up. This is a more opaque shade. Some of his can be a little sheer, and some of them can be more opaque. So this one is definitely more opaque and can easily be worn on its own. I just think this color is really cool. The other Marc Jacobs product I got was another one of the Lamarck lipsticks. This is just his traditional bulleted lipstick. I love the shade Slow Burn. I had like 2 samples of that I used up completely from like 100 Point Perks or something, and I finally broke down, I think, in the spring sale and bought Slow Burn in a full size because I love that lipstick. But I wanted to pick up a different one, and I went into the store and swatched a bunch of them, and I ended up getting the shade Goddess. It's just it's a traditional, it's just a classic red. It's not too blue, it's not too warm, so it's just the epitome of what a strong mid-toned red is. And the formula is super creamy and comfortable, but yet I feel like it stays on my lips. I don't worry about this formula feathering outside my lip lines, even with a brighter shade like this. To me, I'm like, this is my holiday red. This is the red I will wear to the holiday parties that pop up this year. This like 1930s classic red lip gets me every time. So super happy to have this in my collection. Okay guys, so like 1,000 years later, I think we're done with the haul. God bless America, that was a lot. That is all she wrote, folks. That was everything I picked up in my haul. Hopefully I was able to give you some good information about the products, what I've been liking about them, where I think they have some opportunities. If you enjoyed this video, I would love for you to join us and hit subscribe. I'm going to be posting regularly. I haven't quite figured out a schedule, but I'd like to get at least 2 videos up a week, if not more. And I really would like to get input from subscribers early on about content that they're interested in, things that they are enjoying, questions that they have. I really would like to make content tailored to what you guys want to hear about. And so I see this as an opportunity for early subscribers to get it on the ground floor and to help me really shape what this channel can be. I certainly have a lot of things that I am passionate about sharing, but I also want to build a channel that meets some needs that I think may be missing on YouTube. So comment down below, give me lots of feedback, like and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys soon in my next video. Bye now.